Hello, welcome to Magic with Melly. You are magic, I am Melly, and my gift is in telepathy, clairaudience, intuitiveness, channeling, and I'm still figuring out the other spiritual gifts. Anyway, I'm here at the park. You may find yourself going to the park more often. Just sitting in the sun, enjoying the animals, enjoying the people. You might learn from people watching. You might be disappointed in what you experience while you're people watching, especially when it comes to children. Okay, you might find bad parenting, and you might find things really out of context. Okay, and you're like, that's not my business, but it is your business because you're in a public setting, right? And it's giving the whole world as your home. It's giving you be you over there and I'll be me over here. But you may learn about yourself through other people. And what I mean by that is if you're able to point out a bad parent, that must mean that you would be a good parent. And you may be disappointed in the world and may not want to bring children into the world the way that it is. But there's something in this collective where you're meant for more than what you're letting yourself have. You're finding excuses to not give you what it is that you want, right? Like it's on your radar for a reason. You can point out the bad parents because you know better. I'm also hearing you don't know what you didn't know, and that's okay. Learning curves. Yours could look like crazy, or yours could just look like a gradual increase. Yours could be roller coastery. Okay. Mental health awareness. There's unique triggers related to the unique experience someone had with their trauma. Okay, not everyone who has an eating disorder has the same triggers. Not everyone who has domestic abuse has the same triggers. And this is trigger warning, I'm just being called to recall a woman on TikTok. Her domestic abuse was about being waterboarded. So that was how her domestic abuser was tormenting her, trying to get information out of her, thinking that she was lying about things when he was maybe the one that was lying and projecting, and it's like torture for no reason. And so she has this fear of showers and fear of water, and it's like someone who went through that's what their trigger is going to be. They're going to have a hard time surrounding a very mundane daily thing. Or if someone, your domestic abuser used something specific to hit you with, you're going to feel endangered when someone lifts it aggressively too quickly. It's just giving sensitivity. Your sensitivity is your superpower. It may be a pointer finger, like an indicator of where you're at. It may be a tool to help you recognize when something's happening again. It's giving, it happened for a reason. I'm not saying you deserved it. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't deserve it. Okay, things happen so that, in my belief system, a greater good can come about. At least that is my intention when it comes to going through things, is that there's a greater good that should come out of it. And so when I was a child, I was raped, I was tormented, tortured, because I was an easy target. I was a child. I was disabled. I had parents that, you know, English is not their first language. I had parents that their views didn't align. And so it's just like many vulnerable spots with being a child, with being disabled, with being first or second gen what's the word? Like foreigners assimilating into culture, okay, that already comes with its own hardships and bullying, in addition to childhood disability and such. And anyway, you may have gone through what you've gone through so that you can recognize it when it's happening to someone else. That you're a warrior and survivor in your spirit, and you don't get dealt a hand that you can't handle, okay? It's when other humans transfer their pain and add to the plate that makes it overwhelming. And you may need to figure some boundaries when it comes to someone or many people who don't handle their own problems. There is a difference of, I need you here for support and I need you to solve my problems, okay? And someone may be scared, okay, that you may be asking for too much of them. It makes someone not feel like they're enough, because they're already doing their best to support you, and then you're asking for more than what they're giving you, and what they're giving you is their best. I'm getting called to share with the collective the importance of tapping into resources. Like, your friends and family aren't professionals. They're not cut out to help you with some of the things you've been through. Okay, professional help could alleviate the problems you're having with your friends and family. Don't take offense that someone wants you to seek help. Okay? It's because they can't give you the help you need, so they're asking you to find a resource. Okay? They're not going to do the work for you, okay? Some maybe they will, okay? Maybe they have a big enough heart and an overfilling cup that they can do some work for you, but it's going to exhaust and deplete them eventually if you don't pick up some of the work. Okay, and you may be calling on a friend and they think it's going to be a good time, and then you're just trauma dumping and like you have a dark cloud over your head. Okay, and they may already have a dark cloud over their head. They may already have their own problems and depression and chronic things that they're dealing with, and then you can't handle your own things you're dealing with. It's like there's too much of a transfer of energy, and you may be offended that you may be offended about someone's boundaries, but it's giving you might have crossed their boundaries. Okay, so they have to build the wall even higher, and you're like, I can't climb that high. It's giving not being able to afford someone's energy because you need to level up. I'm hearing someone's figuring out their style as well. You're figuring out maybe what not to do, and that's like you're giving yourself a hard time because you're learning the hard way. But it's giving, if everything was easy, would it be worth it? And I'm hearing post the content, whether you have acne or you feel like you're overweight or you feel like some sort of insecure about something, if your hair is messed up, just do it anyway. A lot of us are in our prime and we still pick on ourselves. It's like, it probably doesn't get any better than this, and that's okay. I have collective that it's always looking for the next best thing, but what if the best thing is right in front of you and you're not having gratitude about it, and you're risking losing it because you didn't appreciate what you have when you have it. The next best thing isn't always the next best thing. You might have reached your peak. I'm also hearing we have late bloomers in the collective. Okay, being a late bloomer is not a bad thing, okay? Because imagine peaking in middle school or high school, and it's like you go through your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and wishing you hadn't peaked at such a young age. It's like if you peak in your 30s, 40s, that's just like you have so much more power in your 30s and 40s and your adult life. When you peak in high school, you're just a teenager. You're just a little preteen. And what can you do with your peak with so little power? And it's giving for some reason I'm getting walks like a duck, talks like a duck, must be a duck. But we do have imposters. We have copycats. Okay, we have people who can mask. Okay, masking, pretending to be someone or something else because it's easier, right? Walks like a duck, talks like a duck, must be a duck. Not always, okay? You may need to look into someone's genetic makeup or like the earlier stages of life, why this person is who they are, like who they are at a core, their social conditionings, what they're learning and unlearning, their core moral values. Okay, because I'm getting called to think like of some of the times I would go and hang out at karaoke bar, and I'll go by myself, okay? For the most part, I'm really good at protecting myself, making sure nothing has happened. I'm still here, right? And so sometimes I have to call on trusting a stranger, like a familiar face, and being like, can you walk me to my car? Okay, and someone who has a crush on me, they might see, if you have a crush on me, I'm like, that's dangerous. And so I won't call on that person, and they may be offended that I asked someone else to walk me to my car. And it's like, I asked them to walk me to my car, and it looks like I'm going home with them. It looks like I'm gonna hang out with them more, but there's innocence in it. Like, it isn't always what you think, okay? Or it's like I'm going to someone's house, or I'm taking someone home, and it's because the intention is to ensure my safety. And someone's projecting, oh, they're having sex. Oh, they must be. It's like what you think isn't always accurate. It may be from a place of fear, or a place of, you've been here before and it's similar, but it doesn't have to be the same. You may be coming from, if the roles were reversed, you would do what you're thinking and saying that they're doing, right? Or maybe you're channeling from an old version of yourself, and you're like, is this karma? Am I being haunted by the person I used to be? Okay. I was very insecure and desperate in my dating life at some point. Okay, I had a hoe phase. I needed to heal from sex trauma by having a coping mechanism that made me relive my trauma over and over. It's like exposure therapy, but in a really twisted way. Okay, and so I had a roster of people. Okay, I was in my younger 20s. I was figuring out what I wanted. I needed to dibble and dabble. I needed to have fun. I needed to validate my body, that people can want a disabled body. Okay, and anyway, I have these ideas because I used to be that person, and I'm just like so concerned about those things happening to me. Okay, and it's like, it's on your radar, because if you can recognize it, it still lives within you. Beauty recognizes beauty, ugly recognizes ugly, and there's all things in between. And I'm hearing, when you start to overthink, maybe find a 5 to 7 step, pave the way to becoming present. So maybe noticing the sounds around you, and do a countdown. Notice 1 sound, 2 visual items, 3 sensual items, 4 visual items again, 5 audio items. What are things that you hear, see, experience? Maybe have a journal, write it down. See if any sounds or experiences align with what you're going through. Birds can be on your side here, or random car honkings. If you've seen other tarot readings, sometimes a car will honk to validate what the tarot reader is saying. Sometimes a bird will chipper or show up, an animal will show up. And if you look into the metaphysical meaning of the spirit animal, the spirit totem, you may realize that they showed up just for you. You're not as alone as you think. Spirit is with you. Your angels, your ancestors are with you. You have a team on the other side that is with you. And they'd like to hear from you more often. And they'd like to be able to reach you more often if you were paying more attention. 2020, as I said that, and I think that's where I'm going to leave today's reading. Thank you for being magical. Thank you for being here. This was Magic with Melly.